السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. النهاردة هتكلم عن موضوع التوعية الجنسية في مدارس الغرب بداية، ثم العمل على نقل هذه التجربة إلى المدارس في العالم الإسلامي والعربي. الأمر شرحه يطول ومحتاج وقت كبير لشرح تفاصيل التفاصيل، ولكن هحاول أختصر اختصار غير مخل. مسألة الجنس، خدوا بالكم، عند الأطفال السبب الرئيسي في الكلام عن هذه الجزئية هو ألفريد كينزي، أبو الثورة الجنسية في بدايات القرن العشرين من الأربعينات، كذلك المنتصف في الخمسينات، وألف عدة كتب في الكلام عن الجنس عند الرجل والجنس عند المرأة. ألفريد كينزي عمل دراسة تم اعتبارها دراسة علمية كبيرة جدا. بعد ذلك اكتشفت الحقيقة بعد سنوات إن في تزوير تم في هذه المسألة لترسيخ فكرة معينة.
In his book, and based primarily on Green's information, Kinsey claimed that children could, with the assistance of an experienced adult, enjoy sexual activity from the moment they were born. It was a revolutionary claim that overturned all previous scientific knowledge about the development of child sexuality. But the claim and the experiments that lay behind it have alarmed Kinsey's critics.
Minimum 317. At maximum 1,200 and some boys were being sexually raped around the clock using stopwatches.
كينزي كان شخص منحرف جنسيا شاذ، وتلاميذه شواذ، واللي نقلوا عنه رسالته وفكره بعد ذلك على مدار سنوات طويلة كلهم منحرفين، إما مثلي الجنس شواذ جنسيا بيفعلوا فعل قوم لوط، وإما أشخاص عندهم ميول جنسية تجاه الأطفال، مغتصبين للأطفال، متحرشين بالأطفال.
Green was not the only pedophile providing information to Kinsey.
We had the prison records of these people, so we'd say, give us a list of everybody in San Quentin who's sent up on pedophilia charge, and we'd go after them. So we got a lot that way. There was a man in Germany who was a pedophile, and he wrote Kinsey.
The pedophile was Dr. Fritz von Baljusek, a former senior Nazi Party official. During the war, he had commanded a ghetto in an occupied Polish town. During all this time, and in the years that followed, he sexually abused hundreds of pre-adolescent girls and boys. He recorded the details in pseudo-scientific diaries in which he claimed to have masturbated and penetrated the children to assist their sexual development.
There is another possibility regarding Kinsey's data on children, that the experiments never took place.
We have the other serious implication that the data are being used as if they were real in order to generate a whole view of child sexuality and availability of children in sexual encounters, which is based on nothing.
If that is so, then scientific fraud may have occurred. In either case, the reliance on reports of sexual torture of children under the auspices of federally supported research cries out for examination, especially since Kinsey's research had such a profound effect on the entire sex research field.
لاري قسطنطين أستاذ مساعد في علم النفس في جامعة تافتس، بيقول كلهم بقى نفس شاكلة كينزي وبيأيدوا أفكاره. يمتلك الأطفال الحق في أن يعبروا على أنفسهم أو عن أنفسهم بطريقة جنسية حتى مع أفراد عائلاتهم. طبعا تسمعوا الاسم أستاذ مساعد علم النفس في الجامعة. الحقيقة إن لاري قسطنطين هو عبارة عن شخص مغتصب للأطفال.
The most obvious impact of this effort is to demystify the taboos of sexuality in sex education classes to very young children. Many sex education curricula now begin in kindergarten and continue through high school, often under AIDS prevention. The message to parents if we don't begin teaching children about safe sex as early as possible, including every variation, then they may get AIDS.
I remember him using this in his campaign against me, saying Barack Obama supports teaching sex education to kindergartners. And, you know, which I didn't know what to tell him. But it's the right thing to do, to provide age-appropriate, science-based sex education in the schools.
How can you be protected from AIDS, like when you're having sex?
Well, one of the best ways, Magic, is wear a condom, isn't it?
As a result, some schools, and even a documentary presented by Nickelodeon, are instructing children as young as 8 years old in how to use a condom.
You roll it down the penis, and that protects the man when his penis is inside the woman's vagina.
Children are also told how to perform anal sex. At a Safe Sex Youth Conference in New York in 1994, children as young as 12 were given graphic brochures advising boys to enjoy safe sex with men and encouraging girls to experiment with lesbian sex practices that could cause sterility.
Children, he said, 100% are orgasmic from birth. Therefore, children can benefit from sex with adults and even incest, which is illegal, so we need to lower the age of consent. He was working toward making everything legal, but that's all right. Children need early explicit school sex education since they're sexual from birth, which was illegal at the time, now it's everywhere. They need masturbation and hetero and homosexual acts to be taught to them, which was illegal, and now it's being taught.
ألفريد كينزي اعتبر في محاضراته اللي ألقاها أمام المحاكم والجهات الرسمية واللجان وغيرها والولايات اللي زارها في أمريكا المختلفة، اعتبر أن المشكلة ليست في الممارسة الجنسية مع الأطفال. اعتبر أن المشكلة ليست في الممارسة الجنسية مع الأطفال، ولكن المشكلة في نقطتين. النقطة الأولى في معاقبة المتحرش على اعتداء الجنسي على الأطفال، وفي رد فعل المجتمع تجاه رفض الممارسة الجنسية مع الأطفال، واعتبر أن دول أعظم من الممارسة نفسها. معاقبة المعتدي جنسيا على الطفل ورد فعل المجتمع الرافض لهذا الفعل، دول أعظم عند كنزي وتلاميذه من الممارسة نفسها.
In his final years, Kinsey would testify before legislatures and courts that pedophilia was a less dangerous problem than public intolerance of it.
Part of Kinsey's defense of pedophiles was that children were not really harmed by sexual contact with adults. Therefore, it made no sense to incarcerate pedophiles for lengthy prison terms.
Dr. Kinsey wrote that it is difficult to understand why a child, except for its cultural conditioning, should be disturbed at having its genitalia touched.
Kinsey's argument was that it was society's reaction to pedophiles that caused the real trauma of child molestation. Quote from Sexual Behavior in the Human Female, where Kinsey wrote that when children are constantly warned by parents and teachers against contacts with adults, they are ready to become hysterical as soon as any older person approaches, or stops and speaks to them in the street, or fondles them. Some of the more experienced students of juvenile problems have come to believe that the emotional reactions of the parents, police officers, and other adults who discover that the child has had such a contact may disturb the child more seriously than the sexual contacts themselves. The current hysteria over sex offenders may very well have serious effects on the ability of many of these children to work out sexual adjustments some years later.
الموضوع اللي أنا طرحته النهاردة عن الممارسة الجنسية مع الأطفال واتهام من يرفض الشذوذ الجنسي بالعنف والرهاب المثلية وغيرها من الاتهامات، ده مدخل من مداخل التنصير. المجتمع اللي هيقبل وجود شواذ، امرأة مع امرأة ورجل مع رجل، والمجتمع الذي يقبل الممارسة الجنسية مع رضيع ومع طفل 4 سنين ومع طفل 5 سنين، أصبح مؤهل إنه يرتد عن دينه. هو فاضل إيه تاني؟ يعني مجتمع وصل إلى هذا القدر من مش عايز أقول التدني الأخلاقي، عدم وجود أخلاق وتحول إلى حيوانية كاملة، بل ربما الحيوان يعني يتنزه أو يتأفف من هذا الفعل، يتنزه عن هذا الفعل أو يتأفف من هذا الفعل. فأصبحت التربة ممهدة للردة عن الإسلام. هو فاضل إيه تاني؟ يعني مجتمع هيقبل ممارسة جنسية مع امرأة أو رجل مع رجل، ويقبل ممارسة جنسية من رجل بالغ مع طفل. فاضل إيه تاني؟ مش فاضل حاجة تاني، باب من أبواب الردة عن الدين.
كانت أول شيء إنه إحنا ما نقدر نتلاقى، كان عندنا صعوبات نفسية بسبب إجبارنا إنه إحنا ما نكون على طبيعتنا، مو بس المثلية الجنسية، حتى على الدين، على الأفكار. ما قدرنا يعني نكون مع بعض أو نعبر عن بعض يعني.
اليوم بتعيشوا مع بعض، بتعيشوا حبكم، انتوا مثليتين عايشين مع بعض، وشفنا في التقرير. شو كان أصعب شيء لإلكم لما كنتوا في السعودية سارة؟
أصعب شيء إنه ما إحنا قادرين نكون سوا، يعني إحنا ما إحنا مختلفين عن أي شخصين يحبوا بعض، يعني مو عشان إحنا بنتين يعني إحنا خلاص شيء العلاقة بيننا أو إن إحنا نستقل بحياتنا سوا كان شيء مستحيل يصير.
ردة فعل أهلكم، يعني هل في أي حدا قلتوله أو حكيتوله مودة؟
أنا ما قلت لأهلي إلا لما جيت ألمانيا، ما كانوا يعرفوا أي شيء نهائيا لما كنت في السعودية. لكن لما يعني كنت أتواصل معهم في البداية قبل ما أقول لهم كانوا أوكي إن أنا سافرت. لكن لما عرفوا إن أنا مثلية وعرفوا إن أنا تركت الإسلام قطعوني مباشرة.
Happy Pride, everybody!
Happy Pride!
Who here knows what gay pride means?
It means where like all the gay people, transgender, lesbian, bisexual people gather up and celebrate.
That's absolutely right. It's a celebration of sexual diversity. So I'm not gay, but I'm a gay ally. Are you gay allies?
Definitely.
Great answer. What does it mean to come out of the closet? What do you think about gay marriage?
I just think it's normal marriage.
Right.
My auntie, I know that she's gay. She hasn't married yet. And I'm just wondering if I am going to be her flower girl.
And you know what? When you find out that your auntie is going to marry a woman and your number one concern is if you're going to be the flower girl, you have your priorities straight. Do you think it would be cool to have two moms?
Yes.
What would it be like to have two dads?
It would be crazy. It depends on how their personality is.
Can you name any gay celebrities?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Uh-huh. What about Neil Patrick Harris?
Who's that?
Do we know Ricky Martin?
No.
Ricky Martin is a singer. And now he's a gay icon. A gay icon is someone who's revered by the gay community. And Jodie Foster is a woman, and she made me question my sexuality when I was a child because I liked her so much.
Oh.
And she was nude in the film Nell. Not that I remember watching it several times as a child.
Wow.
Guys, I'm so impressed with you. Remember, what are we to the gay community? We are
Gay icons.
Sure.
I'm an ally. Maybe I could be an icon.
I mean, everybody should aspire to grow up and be a gay icon.
That's what Pride Day is all about.
You're right. See you at Pride, everybody.
Woo!